Are we recording? We're live.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here too. Yeah, we're recording right now.
All right. You want to let me know
Yeah,
like when we're starting? Excuse me, well, if I
it it's
munch a
it,
blueberry or
it
two.
started like yesterday, bro. Wait, what are you
Crazy,
eating?
bro. Just I got a little bowl of like blueberries and blackberries.
Is that your breakfast?
No, what did I have for breakfast? I had actually went and got a baker's dozen of bagels from this bagel place near me named called Tandem Bagel, and
Word.
super fire, like
Yeah,
best bagels around. And
that's fine. You gotta love a baker's dozen. They put the extra one in there for you.
that's why I love it, dude. That's what makes it the Bakers, dude. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then I just like toasted it up, put cream cheese and some smoked salmon on it. A little extra sprinkle of like everything bagel seasoning.
Solid.
Delish.
Hell
Really
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Really
that
good.
sounds gas.
What did you have for breakfast, my guy?
That sounds gas. Dude, I've been getting these scallion pancakes from Whole Foods, and you like fry them and put an egg on it and like fry the egg to it. It's
Whoa,
gas.
that sounds so
Yeah,
good.
but
I gotta
I
check
did
this
burn
out.
mine to death today because I was more busy trying to set this up than I was trying to cook that.
Valid.
But they're still gas. Yeah,
How did it go setting this up?
dude, easy. I started like 20 minutes ago. I've got this whole app. Riverside, easy. Sponsor us. Get sponsored
Dude,
by
yeah,
Riverside.
come on,
I was
Riverside.
over
What's
here
up?
drinking my mud water and setting up my Riverside, and now you guys gotta sponsor us.
I got my Carhartt hat on today. Wearing these lovely Audio Technica
Mm,
headphones
uh,
that have lasted me about 5 to 6 years now. I've had them a long time.
that's fire. What are
Long
you
lasting,
drinking?
good
What's the
quality.
bottle?
This is just a sparkling water bottle that my mom gave me, full of like she goes to this like spring in it's called Monson, Mass, I think is the town.
Uh,
And she just like fills up a bunch of bottles with water and stuff. And so she gave me that bottle full of like spring water, and I've had it for like 2 weeks now. I've just been using it in that water bottle. It's great.
Sick. Hell
Yeah,
yeah. I like a glass water bottle.
me too. Me
Nice.
too. It's just like aesthetically nice, and it's um, I don't know. It's I yeah. I'd rather put it in glass than like even though like I feel like the plastic water bottles have some chemicals and stuff. I don't know. I don't trust them all, but
No.
that
There's some
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but some of the glass is even more fun than like I have like a water bottle, like a metal one, which is nice. But glass is just like fun for some reason. I don't really know why.
Yeah, it is. It's a little extra risk too. You gotta like make sure you don't have butterfingers.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, facts. Yeah, don't drop
yeah.
that.
I had a hydro
Word.
flask for a long time, but the thing with hydro flask is like I've had two of them, and both of them like the lid starts to wear out, and like pieces of like
Oh,
rubber and stuff like and plastic come off of it and kind of get in the water. So that's been my experience with. I even got like a replacement lid for my last water bottle and did the same thing. So
yeah,
hydro flask,
yeah.
fix your shit. What's going on?
Get it together. That's why they're losing ground. They blew up like 5 years back, but they're losing
Yeah,
ground.
no, so true, so
Yeah,
true. Because they're
yeah,
just like they cheaped out. They're trying to like maintain their profits, and then just like got to maintain that
yeah.
quality too, guys. Come on, let's go.
You can't
Step it
all
up.
be in advertising, guys. Come on.
Right? We can't all
All
be
right, bro.
McDonald's.
All right,
Yeah.
bro. We're hopping in. We're hopping in.
All right.
This is season 5, episode 1, Everything and Nothing podcast.
Hell
We're
yeah.
hopping in. I got
Let's
my
go, man.
friend Ben Gigi Kirsch. I like to call him B Francis on the mic. And yeah, dude, we're getting it together. I want to start off the bat. This shit would not have gotten to season 5, episode 1 if it wasn't for you, bro. Because I would have quit like at least before season 3. I would not have leveled up. I wouldn't have this nice mic and these nice like goofy ass podcasting headphones, and you editing all this shit has like taken it through the roof. So thank you.
Bless, bro. You're so welcome. I'm so happy to be a part of this, and it's been super fun. Like just building my skills in editing and like diving into your passion project, this thing that you're so into, and I think it's super cool what you're doing with it, and happy to be on their side with you, man. Like I feel like it's gonna inevitably just keep going up, and yeah, thanks for having me on, bro. I wasn't
Thanks
really
for
in a
being
mood to
here.
do this
Yeah,
today, but I'm here and we're doing it.
dude, appreciate you showing up regardless,
Hell yeah,
making it happen. It's low pressure. So I'm gonna start off with a nice low pressure question, which
let's
is
do it.
you're like the co-producer of this thing. Why the hell is it called Everything and Nothing?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
That is that is a really good question.
I know. You would think it'd be one that you should know the answer to. That's why it's
Right?
funny.
It's like what
Yeah.
it, it's like what is everything? Oh shit! Hold on, bump my mic. Um, what does everything and nothing mean to me? Is that kind of the vibe you're going for?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah, man. I think it's just, I think it's just ultimately this show is about just life and living to the max and uh and I think it makes me think of yin and yang and this actually this meme that I have had on my phone forever that I actually just posted as connected to a beat on this beat store that I just started. So go check that out. The link will be up soon wherever you are.
Drop it. We'll put it at the bottom of
Not
the
to plug my
episode.
own shit, but
That link's in the bottom of the episode.
um and I think so that meme is it's like yin and yang and it basically says connected to each side. It's like one side is like it's so over, the other side is like it says we're so back. And then
Mhm.
there's sort of a little circle, like a magnifying zoom on the line between that connects the yin and the yang, the black and the white, and it zooms into that line, and the text says, "It never started, and it will never end. Like it never
Hell
began,
yeah.
and it will never end." And it's just, I feel like that embodies sort of what this podcast, this show is about is finding that balance, that middle between all of the sort of ups and downs of life, right? So sort of just riding the waves and um I think the show is curious about other people and just where they're at in that journey in are they in an extreme sort of like chaotic place? Are they on one sort of extreme end of that spectrum, or are they, you know, finding their way to the middle? Are they, you know, that finding their way to that equilibrium, that balance, or are they, you know, lost in the sauce? But I think ultimately that sort of everything and nothing just encapsulates the beauty and the chaos of life and the amazingness and suckiness of it all. And yeah, man, I based on that, I'm just so happy to be a part of something that is like talking about just like life and doesn't necessarily have a ton of um structure. And I've gotten so much out of just like little tidbits I've heard from other people and listening to the episodes and editing them too. But it's been a pleasure, man. Yeah, super happy to be here.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah, that's sick. I couldn't have described it better myself. That's yeah. I really yeah, it all comes back to that. And it really is rooted in I think like Buddhism and the idea of like nirvana, nibbana of everything and nothing is the universe. That's like duality at its that's the first level where it's apparent like space and nothingness and everything that manifests and it goes up above that into oneness and it comes down into many things. But yeah, I feel like
It's a
we're really
beautiful
here
thing.
to dive in and talk about it because I think a lot of life is about learning to play with those different levels and like being if you listen to things like Ram Dass talks about not getting stuck on any specific level and
Right.
really embodying the ability to be in oneness, to be in duality, to be in the many, to see the grayscale, and to take action while being poised. Um, yeah, so that's dope. That's super dope.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, man. I just started listening to Dr. Joe Dispenza's book. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is the title.
Mm-hmm.
And what you just said kind of reminded me too of sort of, I guess this is another layer to the everything and nothing is sort of the discussion. There's a discussion in the introduction of this book about um, matter versus energy, and how everything down to the subatomic level is 99.99999% energy. So it's like
Hmm.
everything that exists that manifests in physical form, what we see as physical form, is still not is still almost nothing. So
Yeah.
everything is nothing. basically
Yeah.
entirely nothing. So it's like it's and I just love that sort of that inherent paradox of life. And I think that's another beautiful part of the show is like gets into the sort of nitty-gritty um ways that life is really just complicated and messy and finding the beauty in that mess. And
Hmm.
I think a lot of shows hesitate and a lot of people hesitate to sort of touch that and like dive into that and explore what's going on there. So
Yeah.
props to
Totally.
you
Yeah,
for
and I think,
doing it, man. Like, yeah, I think it's really
oh
cool
yeah,
that you're
man. Thank you.
that you're
Yeah.
doing this thing.
Props to you. Props to you, bro. I think the more that we do this shit too, like, it's just like the more aware you become, the better your life gets, and you like just by bringing. I'm taking a class right now called like Shadow Integration Challenge, and it's all about bringing awareness to the parts of your psyche and reality that you tend to like push away, or the things that like tend to hold you back.
Mm.
And so far I'm only on like day 3, but it's just all been about bringing awareness to it. And it's crazy how just by being more aware of it and journaling a little bit of like, sometimes I'm like about to say hey to a random stranger and I don't, because my body shuts down because I'm like afraid for some reason, and realizing that just bringing attention to that and bringing like heart coherence and like breath and heart mind coherence back into it, how much that alone helps make the shift forward. And that also, yeah, so that's just been really crazy for me. That's just been
Yeah,
really crazy.
dude,
Yeah.
did you have another thought or you
Yeah,
done?
I'm like, and totally other tangent. I've been thinking a lot about space. This is a candle. If you and if you couldn't tell, yeah, space is really interesting because the more I've been like reading Eckhart Tolle and looking at space, the more you notice that like this candle, the flame, the way it flickers, if you imagine the flickering as almost like space pushing down on the flame, and the flame like repeatedly like getting back up, and it's like the flame and space are having like a little boxing match, and that really is what's happening because the flame's like fighting to get as high as it can, and it's like can only reach so much due to like the atmosphere and a bunch of other stuff I don't know the science behind, but I know that's true. And it's just like it's so inspiring of like this is life is like falling over, getting up, getting up, getting up, getting up, getting up, good, and
Right.
it just, yeah, I think we like disconnect ourselves from that and we end up in our heads and we end up like, do I get back up? I guess I'll get back up. And then when we get our own way, you just get up and you get up and you get up and you get so much more out
Right.
of it.
Right. And
Yeah.
I remember talking to you about this way that I sort of conceptualize frequency as like a sort of practice and doing things more
Mm,
frequently.
yeah.
And
Yeah. I
that
love
sort
that.
of like within the scope of like a whatever skill or thing you're trying to build, it raises your frequency within that sort of area. Um
Yeah, for
and
sure.
and I'm trying to get back to the thought that I had. Um
Well, I think frequency like that is fascinating when you think about it as in like just, I don't even know. It's like it all runs on this like spectrum.
right.
And like when you do the thing more frequently, you actually can raise your own frequency. And that's like the difference between like guilt and shame and like love and
Mhm.
compassion is it's all like a frequency scale. It's like red versus
Yeah.
blue. It looks totally different, but it's just a different speed.
Dude, yeah. Another thing I was gonna say, I don't think this was what I was gonna say, but another thing that
I
that
was hoping
you
it would bring you back.
that yeah, it's all good, man. You reminded me of is I didn't even, I've sort of been in a time where, I've been just sort of in the throes of addiction and it at times can feel just sort of like this massive weighted blanket that is just impossible to push off. But the
Yeah, man's
beautiful
gonna get off the crystal, bro. Come
dude.
on.
And I need the blue shit, man.
Sorry, I should make like continue.
No, it's all good, man. I think humor is a great thing to have around it. But even being sort of like struggling against that a lot and then having these moments of that's the beautiful thing about awareness is like you can always come back to it at any time. And I think that's sort of the practice of mindfulness, is developing that ability to come back and come back and come back to awareness.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
what was I doing earlier? I was driving home from getting food and coffee, and I was coming down this hill near my house, and I drove by some cows that are always like grazing nearby, and I had this thought of like, oh, I would like I want to like I would love to like stop and pet the cows. And then I didn't. Like the little child inside of me
Yes,
was
bro.
like
Yeah.
oh, I would just love to get out and pet the cows. But then this other voice like took over and was just like, oh no, you got to get home, you got to eat, da da da, you the Ethan thing, you got to like all of this like extra sort of like matrixy bullshit that didn't really matter. But
Yep.
even though I didn't stop, having that awareness of like, oh man, that sort of just that little kid that wanted to just have a moment of like love and connection with like with an animal, and just like have that be okay. And so
Hmm.
even just bringing awareness to it, and talking about it now even, makes it like okay that that happened, and it doesn't have to be something that I, beat myself up over, or it can
Yeah.
just be like, okay, that's something that I know about myself, and I want to bring more of those like joyful moments to myself. So I'm going to try and bring
Yeah.
more awareness to my life, and capitalize on that, like that next one, like say yes to that next one. And then if I don't
Hell
say
yeah.
yes to that
Yeah.
next one, it's like, yeah,
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 totally. I think by bringing that awareness, like you said, you bring the next one, you bring yourself that much closer to stopping and petting the cow, because and it's like our mind works on logic and linearity and in time, and that's all good and dandy and useful a lot of the time. But also sometimes it just like straight up lies to us. And in the example of
facts.
that, you're driving by the cow and you're like, I have too much to do. I have to do X, Y, and Z before I can do this podcast later, and blah, 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 blah. But I can almost guarantee you that somehow, I can't even tell you why, but somehow if you stopped and you pet that cow, you would have had more time this morning. You would have been happier. You would have had more time. Like it doesn't,
That's the magic
yeah,
of that love, man. That like those
yeah.
good vibrations, like time is almost and Eckhart Tolle talks about that, like that time that that time is like a sort of a trap to us, and a trap to our mind, and keeps us stuck
Mm-hmm.
in the sort
Mm-hmm.
of, um I'll call it 3D world, and like
Yeah.
unable to
And
sort
in
of
the
just like
waiting,
in the
I think in
way,
the
right,
waiting, yeah. Yeah, it's
right,
like, oh, like
right.
I can't, like maybe tomorrow, but like today I gotta do this, and
But it's like,
that in yeah,
but
and you
the
miss that moment, and then you miss all the moments down the line unless you catch it. Like you still caught that moment, even though you didn't catch it enough to pull over.
and
And like that,
that's how I know like I'm still on the path. I'm still doing the thing. And like and like even just showing up here today when I really like didn't want, I just wanted to get baked as fuck, and like not
you
deal.
showed
But
up.
like man, like,
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about. Like it's
dude.
those
And
little things, and stacking them up,
yeah,
and stringing them together, that
yeah,
that in that, like it's like that's the raising the frequency. Like having more
yeah,
frequency of those experiences of love raises you to the vibration of love. Like
a hundred
that's
percent,
what it is.
a
That's
hundred
just
percent. That's all it is. And like and I feel like you just know, like I don't know. I knew you were gonna show up today. I was like, I would be shocked if you didn't show up. And that's for a while. You were not very reliable. You were not very consistent, and you have like very much turned up the dial on that. I think just by bringing your awareness to it and deciding what you care about, and like, it's very impressive.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's just for
it's
my
not an
experience of
easy
it.
transition.
Definitely not, but it's like it's not easy, but it's kind of subtle. Like it was kind
Yeah.
of subtle. Like it was just I had to be
Mm.
okay with however I was at any given moment, and
Yeah,
it
dude,
just
that's
required
like you just
radical
dropped like the
acceptance.
biggest bar.
Radical
Yes, 100.
acceptance, yo. That's
That's
the
like the
key.
secret to life, dude, right there. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you can really deeply accept, yeah, man, whatever situation you're in, like I think so much of the reason why so many people get stuck in their lives or feel stuck is because they're fighting against reality. They're fighting against the the reality of the situation of their life, or like maybe they,
Yeah.
have something that they're really trying to change about themselves, or a bad habit that they're trying to break, and like they're just like
Mhm.
really like struggling and pushing. And that's something
Yeah.
my mom has always said to me is like, man, like Ben's like don't push, don't push. Like
Yeah.
that's not the way to get through. It's just like gotta
And
like
that's not what society will tell you. Most of the times you
absolutely
get told push, like force that shit. It'll go eventually.
yeah.
It, it, it's yeah, it
And
comes at a cost.
right, I think so. I think that that can really like affect someone's mental health or physical health, depending on if like they are like I don't know. The example I'm thinking of is like I don't know, a single father breaking his back, working 60 hours a week, like a physical job to like right, like that could take a major
Yeah.
toll on your body as well. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Or people will
yeah,
do it for less good reasons than that. They're just like
right,
forced too hard at the gym because they're like
right,
trying to be macho man. Like I almost can't go to the gym without seeing the guy that's like doing too heavy weight. And he's like obviously like he's way bigger than me. He's doing like way more weight than I would do. But it's like, dude, if he did 20 pounds less and did like the full range of motion, it wasn't like forcing so hard, he'd probably be more fit.
right.
It
It's
just
it's like,
yeah.
man, I think I don't know. This is gonna be a crazy take, but I feel like there's so much just um because of social media and because of because of the kind of country we live in, like I feel like there's so much just inherent violence in American society, in politics, in just like built into the woven into the American society. And I feel like we
Yeah.
internalize that a lot, right? And then we kind of like
Yeah.
self-perpetuate, like we take it out on ourselves. There's just like so many examples of that. And I think
Yeah.
like there's sort of slippery slopes at every turn that you can just kind of fall down, be it like fast food or alcohol or sex or porn or whatever million others, or working out, right? That's another form of like
Yeah, yeah, facts.
that
It could be
can
something
be
that's good on the surface that like
right.
can still become problematic. I totally agree. I think it's great that you said that because I think so many people are so fast to be like, "Our world is so messed up. Like we're burning all the forests. Like our country's a mess. Like the
Yeah,
world's a mess. So much war. Like all this stuff." And we see all this violence, and it's like very in our face, especially like nowadays. I think it's like actually like shoved down our throats a lot of the times. But people won't admit the violence that they have in themselves against themselves. And like the more I pay attention to it, the more I'm like, damn, I'm a hell of like mean to myself. Like there's all this, even if it's like not even like violence is gives like a specific connotation, but even just like unease, dis-ease, like
dis-ease, man. Yeah,
dysfunction. And I think it comes from the same reason that sometimes I wake up most days. I wake up in the morning and I like wouldn't want to get up, and I would sleep like an extra like 2 3 hours that I did not need because I just like couldn't get myself out of bed because I felt overwhelmed by all the stuff that like I had to do in my life, and I would just freeze.
mm,
And it's the opposite of like a hyper like anxious response. It's like a hypo like just like freezing,
yeah,
like shut down. Like
yeah.
you didn't fight or flight, you shut down and
Oh
you
yeah,
like it comes from the same places. And I think that just the more that we realize that we can work on that stuff within ourselves, the more I've brought awareness to it, like you were saying, like I get up so much easier. And the more that we can do that in ourselves, like that's how you help the world. Like you
right.
don't help the world by like watching too many reels and like freaking out about the presidency every day.
Yeah,
It just it
yeah.
doesn't. That's how they control you. It sucks, but like it's true.
It's 100% true, and like I need to clip that and just make that my alarm every morning. Like,
Get the
dude,
ball.
just like, don't get on your phone. Get up, get up, get up. There's, yeah, yeah. It's absolutely it's such a trap, and it's like we didn't really have a choice in it. It's like forced, so just like forced upon us, and like we're now just like so
Yeah,
reliant on it, and now there's this whole other
yeah,
beast of AI, and I don't even know that
yeah.
I want to
I
like
mean,
talk about like give it too much airtime
no, and that's
on this
valid. And
podcast,
there's
but
yeah, I mean, yeah, there's like we could probably both go on about all this stuff for days,
for
but
days.
yeah, that it just is. Yeah, like I don't even really watch news. Like I don't, I can't think of a way that I like actively consume news, and I still end up just getting peppered with it enough to like have an idea of what's going on and know that like all I hear is bad stuff.
Yeah.
And I think if you're like caught in the cycle of like always watching it and always, then yeah, it's just like the fear is what controls you and shuts you down. And like there, what is being sold right now is like the idea of like apocalypse of like
Yeah.
everyone fights everyone of, and you just don't have to buy into it.
Yeah.
You just don't. Like you
And it's
can,
like
yeah.
for someone who sort of like tends towards sort of being like depressive and pulling the covers over, like I can totally relate to all that you were saying earlier too. Like it can be like almost weirdly comforting to sort of see like, oh yeah, like my it's like my depression is valid because the world sucks. And it's like, but you can also like, and I totally am, I feel like you can fall into the trap of just like almost getting addicted to that feeling of just like
Hmm.
valid endless validation of your, depression or anxiety or whatever, struggle you're having. um
Hmm. Yeah, and I
but
mean,
then
you
you
can
end up
validate it and come up with reasons till the end of eternity.
right, and then you
Yeah.
realize your life is over and you haven't done anything with it, right? It's like that's and I think, you know, I I think more recently I've had more like fear of that, of just like waking up at 35 or 45 or 85 and being like, fuck, like where did my life go? But there
Hmm.
wasn't always that sort of like sense of self-preservation. I
Mm.
think
Yeah,
it's
so that's
a
like something that's grown in you, and you're like, damn, I want to make this count.
Yeah, but it's also like then I just like I don't know, I just then I also just have this weed habit where I'm just like brutalizing my lungs and shit. It's just like it's a very strange place, but
Yeah.
it feels like because I'm dealing with it like on like reality's terms and like with this sort of like radical acceptance, I'm starting to sort of have more compassion for more parts of myself and just like allow myself to be imperfect and
Hmm.
and
Yeah, that's so important.
and
That
like
comes back to what we talked about earlier too.
wait what about specifically?
Just allowing yourself to be imperfect. We get so because otherwise you. I think so many people try to change habits. Like they're like, I smoke too much weed and I need to stop, and they try to stop by the almost by even if they don't realize it, internally denying the fact that they smoke too much weed. It's like the classic like people doing like all these affirmations like I I don't smoke weed. I am strong. I don't smoke weed. I
Right,
am strong. I don't smoke weed. I am strong. And it's like you're just like so disconnected and like you're freaking crazy in there.
right.
Sometimes I realize how crazy my brain is, and then I realize that it works like most other people's brains, and I'm like, it's a scary thought sometimes. And I think the more that you can accept where you're at and settle into that, the more that you can really like I don't know. I finally realized that I'm just like a boy trying to figure life out and not like on the top of my game. And the more I've accepted that, the more I learn, the more comfortable I am asking questions, the more aware I am, the more I can grow.
Mm.
Yeah.
and then
As
and
opposed
then
to lying to myself and being like, I'm like
right.
some big guy.
And
Like, it's like, no,
that's so popular.
yeah,
Like
I'm
I feel
just
like
starving.
lying is so popular in America. It's like it's so popular here. It's like
Yeah. Even just,
capitalism is based on
especially to
it's like
yourself.
what sorry, can you say that one more
Sorry,
time? I
I
missed that.
interrupted, but I
No,
said,
no, you're so
especially to
good.
yourself, especially to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um yeah. I don't yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. Like
Yeah.
snaps
Yeah.
100%.
Snaps, bro.
Um
Dude. Yeah. And I think okay, this is also you get if I go on another tangent?
no, no,
I
dude, please, dude,
word.
please. Yeah.
I keep thinking like Eckhart Tolle and stuff. Like I keep watching all the stuff, and they're like the whole thing is like your mind is in time and wants to tell you to do it later. It'll happen later. And like you know what? I have some clothes on my floor from like a week ago that I keep telling myself I'll do later. And every time I tell myself, every time I see them, I say, "Oh, that's for later," but it's always now. But now I've conditioned my now to be pushing it to later.
Right.
So they've been there a week instead of a day because you get so conditioned to like it'll happen later. And people do that with like waking up. People do that with becoming aware, with growing, with enlightenment. When at the end of the day, it's as close as when I say the word banana, you picture a banana. That's where enlightenment is. It's that close. It's here. It's right here. It's right now.
Right. That's
And if
right.
you can think that you have to like once I go to the gym some more and get a little stronger and I grow my podcast and I get a new job, then maybe,
And
it's
then
like
maybe
nah,
I'll be
it's
happier.
here. It's here in the fact that I'm like still the kid figuring it out and what I came here as a soul to be incomplete and work on myself. We all did. So why am I pretending I can't enjoy that process until it's over?
Right,
That's like
dude.
the biggest sham. That's like retirement sham,
Right.
retirement level sham right
Right.
there.
No, dude, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Like it's 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 so easy to fall into the trap of like procrastination and like just keep like I'll do it. And like I don't know, have I feel like one if you don't have structure built into your life, it's so easy to then like just like fall into um sort of that trap of just procrastination. It becomes a sort of like it becomes just an endless spiral. You end up procrastinating your entire life. Like you end up like
Yeah,
I don't know. COVID was a really like weird time, and I feel like it's sort of
for a lot of people, yeah,
oh yeah, no shit, Ben.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
oh really?
yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
uh yeah, but it was I feel like it was sort of like a catalyst for where I'm at now, and now I'm just sort of like
Mm,
at this place where finally I've sort of like um bringing awareness to all these like these habits that I developed like this and this
mm,
overarching habit of just procrastination, like you were saying. Like I totally, bro, like I can't tell
yeah,
you, like anything that I can put off I will put off, and that like it even came down to like it was like there was months where like I wasn't picking up the phone, bro. You were calling me, I wasn't picking up the phone, and that was a form of procrastination too, of just like I can't deal with it. Was really like I can't deal with myself, really was the issue I was having.
mm,
Right now I'll deal with myself, because ultimately, bro, like when you're in relationship with somebody, they're like you reflect each other whether you want to or not. It just happened. Like, bro, like look at this. I don't even know if you can see, but like you inspire me to I don't even it was subconscious or conscious. I got a
mustache
little
is coming
I got a
in.
little
You've been on this podcast too long.
bro, I was looking at I didn't realize it. Bro said I've been on this podcast too long. Um I forget where I was going with that.
No,
But
but
like
I think you're smart. I think to bring it back to what you were saying, like I think you're smart to also realize, like I think in COVID, a lot of people learned to procrastinate because I think a lot of what
yeah.
we were conditioned to feel during that time, um, for better or worse, was just like a big like gap in time and almost like, okay, everything's paused right now and we'll live life later.
Mm,
I think that's how a lot of people took COVID. I think that's how I took COVID. And I did like the basic things. I went to my job and I would like get out and go skiing with my friends. I was a very lucky person during COVID to be able to do that and get outside. But yeah, I think just a lot, it conditioned us to like postpone life.
for sure. And like I mean, I don't think I can necessarily blame all of my procrastination and sort of anxiety stuff on COVID, but it definitely like amplified it. And like you were saying, it almost like it created the sense of like we're on pause right now. Like our life is on pause right now. We'll just like get back to it later.
Yeah.
I feel like,
Yeah.
for me, I found myself like sort of just like stuck in that and stuck in this sort of and like almost choosing that comfort. And I
Mm,
now I'm sort of realizing like, oh, holy shit, like I buried myself in this like this sweet sticky blanket of comfort that is now actually suffocating me and keeping me from living life.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
but so
Yeah.
even like now I'm in this space of like dealing with that, and it's like even just by bringing some awareness to it and like talking to people like you about it, and journaling about it and meditating on it, and sort of um yeah, just starting to like actually deal with myself, actually like face myself and these things instead of later, like I'll deal with it later, I'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a magical thing, man. Like, yeah, and I remember I was
Yep.
talking to you a couple weeks ago about we'll say a mystical experience that you had that sort of like did something like similar for you and in that sort of like um in that sort of like starting to like turn a corner. So
Yeah.
that was inspiring to me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. It's like, cause yeah, for so long, like, I don't know, I used to journal and I used to like part of this shadow challenge that I'm doing is dream journaling. And
Mm.
like back in college, I took like a dream class where I used to dream journal all the time and I loved it. But it's like kind of work because sometimes you wake up at 4 in the morning and like from a dream and you have to turn over and write your dream down at 4 in the morning.
That sounds
And
difficult.
sometimes at 4 in the morning, that's not what you want to do. And I think like so it's easy to like fall out of that practice. And I did the same with like journaling. You fall out of that practice, and then I would tell myself, oh, like I should write, but like I'll do it later, and never do it. And then, what's fascinating though, honestly, is like everything's always changing. And as much as like you'll tell yourself you'll do it later, until you can't, and
Right.
eventually like you just like are too aware of it, and like you just sit down and write. And it's like funny how that happens. Like
Right.
you kind of burn through that procrastination, and you hit this breaking point, and then like now I'm waking up and writing in my journal again, and like it's just I don't want to turn the light on, so it's like just barely light enough that I like can tell where the page is, and I can't even see my handwriting, and I'm just like writing kind of big,
That's
and like
awesome.
it's you start doing it, and you're like, it's so fun. It's so like we're sold this idea that it's easier to procrastinate, and it's just like you were saying the other day with the whole choose your hard thing.
Mm.
It's easy to procrastinate and put off life, but like it's not gonna be easy when you're on your deathbed and you're like, damn, bro, all I did was procrastinate. And like, it's not even gonna be easy until then. Never mind, like, it's not even like it's gonna be easy and then like you have one bad moment.
Right.
The whole time you have this like slight pull of like, there could be more. And people cover that up, like you were saying, with drugs and
Right.
sex and food, and
Right.
which is also a drug in so many other
Sure.
ways.
For
We like,
sure.
if we surround ourselves with people so we won't feel lonely, and
Right.
there's so many different ways to do it, but at the end of the day it stems from that like disconnection from ourself, from like the truest part of ourselves that just wants to pull over and pet the cow for 2 minutes, and it's not going to waste anyone's time, you know?
Dude, yeah. That's and I think people are so, you know, especially in this country, are so set on this idea of like success. And so much of that is material or monetary
Yeah.
success.
Yeah, can I
And
ask what success means to you?
yeah. Oh, that's such a good question, man. It's
Maybe like,
ultimately
yeah, yeah, sorry, what it means to you and what you think it means like when like people say succeed.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll start with what when I guess I'll because I was gonna say before like I guess I'll start with like other people and I think that idea of like I don't know commercial success, monetary success, financial success, career success, great. I think that's great if you're fulfilled by that. So great. I think, however, people get caught up in that world a little too much, and then they lose those little that sense of like just appreciating a sunset or a, I don't know, tree and that's leaves are changing or like petting a cow. It's like that and that I feel like I guess the point I'm trying to make is like that is like the real to me is the real like life stuff. That's the like that's the important
Yeah.
stuff. Is like that
Yeah.
that you know yeah, you know the I don't know, that soup that your mom makes you when you're sick, or like, you know, your grandma, or like, right? That's that's like the really important stuff. And I
Yeah, and like
myself,
you said, the ability to be fulfilled through that stuff
right, right, and
instead of it
yeah,
just passing you by as a shallow experience because you're like too caught up.
right, man. Because it's like I find myself so distracted. Like I just am I'm so easily distracted, and uh, it's just like my life feels like a series of distractions sometimes. But then when I bring a little bit of awareness to like, holy shit, I'm so fucking distracted. I find like, oh, there's a cow that I want to pet. And then if I can keep following that, it's like then
Yeah,
I get into this groove of like, okay, this feels like this is what life's all about. And
yeah,
and I think the hardest
yeah,
part is like not getting attached to like, oh, like I gotta hold on to this good vibration, like these good vibes, like the good stuff,
Yes.
and sort of detaching from both. Because only then I
Mm,
feel like can you be really content. Because
totally.
it's like it's
Totally.
Eckhart Tolle
Yeah.
talks about that,
Yeah.
it's just pure like presence.
Yeah. I mean, you find people that are too attached, like, I can only be positive. And they're like
It's my
some of the
mom.
most like
Hi,
messed
mom.
up
Hi,
people
mom.
around.
Hi,
Like,
mom. I
yeah.
love you. Cut that, cut
I hate
that
to say it,
out.
but some of the most messed up people, because you, it's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to recite it well, but like Jesus has a quote about righteousness and how like a righteous person is more dangerous than like someone who's like openly sinful, because at least
Mm,
that person's like honest with themselves. And I think when you like grab onto the positive too much, you're like pushing away so much of what is. And I think that's what we try to do whenever we get attached to anything. I was thinking just last night about how you are always so. It's not what. Sorry, I'm going off weird, but it's not what you do; it's how you do it.
mm,
That's a quote that most of you have probably heard. It's not what you do; it's how you do it. And when you bring that to like a right here, right now meaning, it's not what you do. It doesn't matter if I'm like doing some weird stretching or like if I'm just silent and like not talking. It's the quality of your consciousness as you do it. And if you try to, you sometimes you're feeling good, and it's like because you're journaling, and then you're just like, oh my god, journaling makes me feel good. I'm just gonna journal for 2 hours, and you like force yourself, and it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. But if I think the more I think I probably a lot of us at this point have like a little bit of us that has some attention disorder and wants to hop around, and the more I allow myself to just do a little bit of the hopping, and I'm like in that flow state of that higher like quality presence consciousness, the more I like write a few notes, and then like don't care that I stand up and go put some clothes away, and then like I'm like washing my dish so I can eat my dinner. And it's just, you start to get into that flow
flow,
and
baby.
trust the how and the quality versus like getting attached like, oh, this was bad and that's good, and you're all caught up in your head. And that's where like the heartbreak coherence comes in. And I feel like
Mm,
that brings like the real sustenance to your life. And like again, that's what heals yourself. That's what heals the world. Is
facts.
that like peaceful quality.
Dude, I I thought of this quote earlier and I wanted to bring it back up, so I'm so glad that you said that. Um, I'm not gonna remember. I'm not gonna remember exactly the quote, but it goes something like, ask yourself not what the world needs. What the world needs is people who have come alive.
Mm,
I'm already butchering this quote.
I like that part.
But ultimately the point of the quote is uh is saying like focus on cultivating yourself. Focus on cultivating what do what makes you come alive. Because what the world needs is people who come alive. That like so basically it's saying like only when you feed you in the most honest and authentic way can you then help other people in a way that is not like just draining to you. It just only
Yeah,
then can will you just have this like fountain of energy and
100%, 100%. I think so many people get caught
yeah,
up being like, there's so much suffering in the world,
right,
I have to go help. And
right. But
while
it's
that
like it
comes from
starts
like
right
the best
here.
place, I
Starts
think
right here.
yeah, so often it's like you're just like abandoning yourself to try to fix things. And at the end of the day, you're not totally having like the faith and the trust in the universe, in God, in the spirit, and whatever you want to call it, that just really like it's all fucked and it's all perfect. And part of what's perfect about it is your attempts to make it less fucked. But
Mm,
you can't just go about it without realizing that it's also perfect. And that involves the coming home to yourself and the
right,
acceptance of like the disease and the discomfort. And that's where you can really find the compassion for other people and the love for life. And that like your energy frees up and you'll have more capability to actually help people. Just like a saint inspires people with their presence by just like being so clear and alive. People walk in the
right.
room and they're like, I feel amazing. Look at that
Right.
tree over there.
Right, but it's like those saints, like they have that energy because whether it was it's conscious or not, that they cultivated their own energy. They like created within themselves that sort of
100%.
like undeniable, vibration of just like pure light and love and joy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
pure presence of consciousness.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
I think that is that presence, that consciousness gets so that's where sort of religion comes in and it like chops it up into different bits and like tries to like divide it, but it's all the same thing, whether you're talking about like Christ consciousness or mindfulness
Buddha. Yeah.
or right or like Buddha or um I don't know. There's other examples or just like contemplation and prayer in like it's
Yeah.
all sort
It's
of
true.
it's all sort of the same, and I think
Yeah. Yeah. And so much what we're sold is the division of it.
and yeah, totally and also in so many religions this idea of like it's not accessible ourselves, so we have to go through
Mm-hmm.
the church or the temple or the
Mm-hmm.
what have you in order to get
Mm-hmm.
there, but like
Yeah.
mm,
And
I
that's
think
why
that's
so many
quite
people now are starting to wake up and be like, you know what? I think Jesus was onto something, but it seems like Christianity is out to control me. And
yeah.
you just start to see like the different levels of it, and it brings us back to like watching the news too much, and
Oh
even
my
how like
God.
that will just again get you so caught up in your head of like, how can I do anything about Gaza, which is so fucked, but feel absolutely next to powerless, and yeah, I can like try to elect better officials, like feels pretty powerless,
Yep.
like very slow growth at least. And so if you're only caught up in that, you're just gonna drive yourself crazy. You have to be able to like, okay, I want to help with that, but that's like a longer, slower, like here are the little things I can do. In the meantime, how can I help myself? How can I feed myself good food and go outside and
Right.
do things like this that I care about?
Right. With the
And
sense, with the
that's what
sense,
really fuels it.
right. And then with the sense that even by doing that, you are like in a sense, not helping the people of God, but,
No, but you
but
actually are. I will push you to say you 100% are on a quantum level affecting that stuff.
I think it's
100%.
like I think sure, yeah, man. Like if you like I like my two parents are so different. My dad's like Roman Irish Catholic, my mom's Jewish and very spiritual. So like I just have these two competing sides in my head all the time. So it's really just kind of funny. But
Trip.
like ultimately I do like believe in that interconnectedness. I've done enough mushrooms and stuff. Like I like yeah, for sure. I sense that one is, and in that sense, like by helping yourself, you literally are creating a healthier, collective, right? So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
in some literal quantum sense, you are. But I think
100%.
I think
I mean,
also
yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like almost on the like in this plane of reality too, like by like pouring into yourself, you almost are able to like for example, if I don't know, I'm in a place where like I don't have a job right now, like I was like walking dogs for a while, but
But you got an interview.
this is why you don't smoke weed before interviews, kids, or podcasts, kids, because you lose your train of thought right in the middle of your sentence.
That's hilarious. Well, here, can I push you back to something you said before?
Please.
I think I think you're trying to separate out the fields of consciousness, which is super valid, of how like on this plane, you're still like very directly like by helping yourself, you make yourself better, you make like the people you interact with better, and like that's a very clear connection. But I think to bring it all the way back to everything and nothing, that really involves the quantum level of reality, which is at somehow the entire universe is now and it's inside of that snap. Alan Watts does this great thing where he's like, we're sold that the now is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each one's a now, but really reality is like boom, because he hits a gong, and you're like, the more that connects, like this flame getting up and falling over every second is happening with the same frequency and within and without the Big Bang. And like life is just happening on that crazy like time all morphs together, and that's where the quantum really like ties us together. And
Mm,
there are plenty of meditations where you meditate on your heart space, and I actually think that's how we should end this podcast today. You meditate in your heart space, and it connects you to all other beings. And through doing that, you like quite literally are sending ripples out through the energetic field of consciousness, which is what everything is manifested within, all the space and all the stuff. And it brings it together on a level that our minds don't compute very well, because it's not in this 3D time space reality. But it doesn't make it less real. If anything,
right.
it's like a more consolidated version.
Right, because I mean, our what we experience as human beings is so limited. I remember having conversations with you about this in the past. Like, it's like point what we can experience with our five senses as human beings is like something like 0.0002 something percent of all that is like exists
Bro, that's
in,
terrifying. Yeah,
isn't it?
I believe you.
So it's like, of
Yeah.
course, of course there are fields and like electromagnetic fields. Our bodies have electromagnetic fields. We can't see them, we can't sense them, but like we can sense them. Like we can. We just are so many of
Yeah.
us are just like not tuned into that.
Yeah.
And man, like
Exactly.
that's why
Yeah.
I appreciate you as a friend so much. Is like I feel like I said, like my mom, I sort of have my mom in one ear, my dad in the other, and like I've always felt like more like my mom. Love my dad, to have a lot of great qualities from him, but ultimately, I feel like you sort of like keep me grounded in this like sense that feels like really authentic to who I am, and this curiosity about consciousness and how and just sort of like self elevation, self consciousness and growth and spiritual growth. I know you don't like that term, but um
It's growing on me. I'm accepting it slowly.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I feel like it
I
comes up
think a lot
short.
of
I feel like it
people,
comes up short sometimes. So I
I
hear
think
you.
that
I
it's
hear
just
you.
been appropriated in a way where I think this actually all ties in well together. It's been appropriated in a way where to, if I may use your parents as examples, because I
Please,
feel like you have been,
please.
um, I think your mom falls in line with what a lot of like more like classically spiritual things are, which is like believing and having the faith and thinking about these consciousness ideas and feeling the connectedness, and like all of that is on one side. And on the other side is maybe more similar to where your dad is, which is in a lot of the hustle and bustle of our culture, which is like grow, get stuff done, like make something of yourself, like make money, like get the girl, do the thing. And they're split. Like our, as a society, we've just like ripped them in half.
And
And
they themselves are split too. They're divorced, fully divorced.
they're divorced. And it's literally the yin and the yang. But like the yin has the yang in it, and the yang has the yin in it, and that's in the symbol, and they're intertwined because at the end of the day, you need both. And I think that's
Mhm.
like more and more what I'm learning from people like Thich Nhat Hanh, who practice um, active Buddhism. I just butchered that. It's like that though, where engaged Buddhism, where they
Engagements.
the whole thing was like working on yourself, to work on the world, to work on yourself, to work on the world, to work on yourself, and how it's just so interconnected. I think the
Mm,
more actually tapped in you get to the self, the more you take inspired, effortless action in the world that is like absolutely game changing. And it becomes way more powerful than if you do it all from like motivation,
right.
because it comes from a place of inspiration, in spirit, in breath, energy. Yeah, it just becomes so much more powerful than leaning too far either direction.
Boom. Boom.
Boom.
I love that, dude. I just wanted to
Hell
like
yeah, bro.
give that a little space.
Cheers.
Perfect. You nailed it.
Hell yeah.
Do you
Well,
wanna
I wanna wrap this up.
let's do this heart meditation, bro.
I wanna You wanna go right? Okay, I was gonna give you one more chance to say. I was gonna ask you one more thing,
Dude, yeah,
but
please.
all right. What do you feel? Um, how do I want to ask it? In what way have you been realizing that you've been holding yourself back, and how has that realization changed that pattern recently?
Mm. Yeah, I feel like it's sort of connected to our whole conversation. I feel like it's a really great like way to wrap this up. Um, I have been holding myself back by fighting against parts of myself that just wanted attention and love, and realizing that I was suppressing, ignoring, neglecting those parts of me helped me realize why I've been suffering so much in recent years, and that the only thing that's necessary in order um in order to change and develop my relationship with those parts of me is just to like simply let them be and accept them for who they are, and accept that they might have something to say or be able to teach me something or help me grow, as opposed to fighting against them. I think just awareness and acceptance have been huge recently, and um yeah, trying to develop practices to cultivate those, which have been difficult for me historically to like, especially to just like maintain, but we're getting back to it. Yeah. So,
Hell yeah, dude. Doing it in the flow. My man, Ben Kirsch.
my guy, E Dog, thanks for having
Hell
me
yeah,
on,
bro.
bro. Love you
Dude,
long
thanks for
time,
being
bro.
on.
Yeah.
Much love, bro. Peace and love. You want to wrap this thing up with the meditation?
I'm so ready. Let's do it, man.
I feel like that's the vibe. Um, all right, hell yeah, dude. So what we're gonna do is, I guess I'll guide this since it was my idea.
Please do.
Um, yeah. So I just take a moment, ground yourself, feel your butt
Wait,
on
wait, wait.
this
I'm gonna
chair,
drink
your
drink some water first.
foot on the ground, or your water in your throat, real quick. It's all part of the moment, and you
Oh yeah. That's
tap
good.
into the breath and feel yourself breathing in and out, but breathing in and out through your heart space. So as if your breath is going into your heart space and out of your heart space as well. And you actually feel it flowing, like the energetic flow of your own electromagnetic field. Just inhale is increasing, exhale, energy out, energy in, energy out. Now, as you continue doing this, imagine around yourself a circle of people. I like to imagine them all sitting cross legged, facing me. A circle of people all around you on all sides. And you're breathing in from their heart spaces and out to their heart spaces through your own heart space. In and out. And as you do it, imagine that circle growing in size, but also in number. So more rings. Allow it to become spherical around you so that you are quite literally surrounded by these beings, by this universal energy. And you're tapped in to that sphere of beingness for as far as you can imagine, as far as your heart can feel. And breathe in and out in unison with all of it. And now I'm going to say, may all beings be free from suffering. And then we can say it together if you would like.
May
May
all
all beings
beings be
be
free
free
from
from
suffering.
suffering. And feel that connection. And then may all beings feel the presence of joy. May
May all
all
beings
beings
feel the
feel the
presence
presence
of
of
joy.
joy. Remember, this applies to yourself too, as you say, May all beings be happy.
May
May
all
all
beings
beings
be
be
happy.
happy. May all beings be free.
May
May
all
all
beings
beings
be free.
be free. Now just feel the connection that you feel within this sphere, this circle, this one pointedness of universal consciousness. Feel the love, feel the compassion, feel the freedom, the peace, the bliss radiating within every atom, every energetic particle that you are aware of right now, within yourself and within all other, the whole interconnected sphere. Just do a couple more breaths, feeling that. Okay. And then you can allow yourself to come back into your body a little more. You can wobble side to side or tap or shake. Slowly let your eyelids flutter back open if you had them closed. Yeah, realize that that's the quantum field. That's the juice where we're all tapped in. I feel like if you can tap into that and really wish that wellness on yourself and on everything else, at the end of the day, it's all the universal I. Just wish that throughout, and it can really help inspire you to do your own cool, crazy stuff. Like make a podcast with your friend. Yo, you're a homie.
We're doing a podcast, and we
In
got
the
an
podcast.
album that we're working on.
Notes on that. It's coming. It's
It's
coming. We
coming.
swear.
On the way. It's on the way.
Yeah.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
I want to say within a month. Before December, it's coming.
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
I feel confident.
For sure.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
before December. Yeah. For
Oh,
sure.
yeah, dude. Thank you for being here, Ben. That was fucking
Thank you
sick.
for having me, brother. Appreciate you.
Season 5.
Season 5 is
Yeah.
underway. Let's
Bigger and better than ever, bro. It's just going up and up and up.
We
and up.
doing video podcast, baby.
Your podcast, but it's just bigger now.
It's so big.
Peace and love, homie. Thank you for being here.
Love you, bro.
Thank you all for listening.
Thanks for listening.